All right, when I make my throw, depending on which throw I've used, I'm going to either have this knee into his body or I'll have this knee. If I've got this knee into his body, I've got access to the upper part of the body. If I've got this knee into his body, I've got access to the legs. That's pretty much the standard piece, okay? Now, you guys might think, first of all, why would I want to do the knee on versus move, right into the mount or move into side control, right? So knee on it's a torturous position. It's uncomfortable. You want them to get tired and you want them to move. Knee on is a good way for them to give something. So when I grab him and I move into knee on and I want the upper part of the body, I'm not going to put this somewhere where it's comfortable, like right in the middle of his abs where he's pretty strong. You could do it on his chest, but the chest is actually pretty strong. I want to push either on the lower part of the ribs, which is really painful, or dig right into his guts. And I'm not going to have all my weight here on this foot. When I do this, I'm going to pull him into a taco, and I'm going to straighten this leg, and I'm going to drive. Okay? You guys see I'm really jamming that in there? Now, generally speaking, he's going to decide to do something. The most common thing that I would say you probably shouldn't usually do is going to be to push onto this knee to get, to basically to kind of shrimp away. So I do this, he puts that hand on the knee to shrimp away, and it gives him some relief. It's a good way to move your body out from underneath the pain, but it then gives me this arm. It gives me this arm, I step, turn, and I've got an arm bar. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So, that is an easy thing that we do. Generally speaking, we make the throw, he lands, I probably still have an arm, right? I drive in, and I drive this into his body. He doesn't like that, he starts pushing, right? He could escape, and I could drive with the other leg. If he does this, this is what I want. I grab it, and I can either go immediately for some sort of leg lock, or I can step over and go to the ground and make leg lock. Okay? So one way or the other, I'm looking for an arm lock or a leg. Again, I like to go for the arm first, right? And if he pushes away, he gives me that, I'm gonna hook it up. I could go here, and I've got a nice wrist lock, and I've got a nice Kimura, all right? So there's a ton of things that are up there. The escape that I want Joel to be thinking about is not just to push off and try to make him get comfortable. What I really want him to do is I want him to think about what really is my base. So if he underhooks my knee on side, go under the ankle, and then he pushes the knee that way while he pulls this, watch what happens to my base. You see that? Now I have to either go over the top of him or he just rolls right up and he takes side control. So there's a nice escape, and there's 2 or 3 arm locks that you could, or leg locks that you can go through. Get with your friend, play with it for a minute, and I'll walk around and give you some tips. Go. Sure. For a second. All right. Joel puts the knee on the belly. He leaves this knee on the ground. What do? Doesn't hurt. I mean, he's got most of his weight on this back leg. Even if he did lean forward a little bit, all he's now doing is putting himself in jeopardy to get rolled. You guys see how this is not the knee on position? Now, he grabs the opposing leg, and he grabs some lapel, probably this side. And what he's wanting to do is he's wanting to pull me into a bent position, and then he puts all of his weight onto the ball of his foot and thrusts this into my body. When he pushes, it should change the way I'm talking. Okay, all right? Now, that's still pretty manageable. He's being pretty generous. A little hard to drive that knee in there. All right, now I don't like that. I'm going to tend to want to just push this off and shrimp. Shrimping is our basic escape, right? And I can do that. So I shrimp, he switches to the other leg, and he drives me this way, right? Same sort of thing, right? If he's got most of his weight, and this right now doesn't hurt, he drives hard, he's driving into there, push, he pulls, push, right? I can still try to shrimp away. He's just gonna put the other knee on there, right? Get it up there hot, there you go, push hard, right? I want to be in a position where I can be comfortable. So now, I'm gonna grab this ankle, right? And I can push higher, I can push this, but I wanna break his balance here. Once I do this, I can start grabbing, and then I can start moving to a top position. Because I have this, I can just make ankle lock here. Does that make sense? I could also lift him up, step through, and make knee bar. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I could also hook here, and I can make a heel hook. So again, once you get a leg, you start unlocking the next move, okay? So let's set this properly, okay? Everybody watch Joel's face. That's the most important thing, right? What do you think?
He's chill.
He looks pretty chill. I do have this leg up, but I still haven't driven into him, right? Now watch, when I do this, I want to go, row. I want to push all my weight into him. So I'm going to grab, and I want to drive with this foot, right? Right? Now, he starts to make his escape. That's my first option. Okay? See, I've unlocked Kimura, I've unlocked straight arm bar,
Yes, sir.
right? Wrist lock, right? Americana. All of these different techniques you can kind of start working with when you're doing that, but you got to be in the right position. All right. Give me Caleb because he's squirrely. So, Caleb's going to try to wiggle, squirm, and I want you guys to watch the back leg because he doesn't want to be in this position. I'm going to try not to put so much pressure on him that he's crazy uncomfortable, but this leg has to be active. So I do this, he starts trying to escape. You guys see how I just continue to work him? But it's this leg that's doing everything. Sorry about that, son.
Okay.
All right? Meanwhile, how many times did he put that hand on my leg? Like 15 times. Because you want to get out from under that pain. By the way, did you guys see me switch?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I already had this, which gives me that, and gives me this. Okay? Pretty cool? All right. Don't kill your friend, but make him try to scramble out. Go. All right. So the hand placement for this technique is not tricky, but you do have to kind of get used to it. All right. First of all, if I get like this, can I make the arm bar easily?
No.
Why?
Leg side.
I'm on the leg side, right? I should be thinking legs. I should be thinking, get some sort of leg. It's this one, okay? So I'm not gonna drive into him. I'm gonna kind of keep most of my weight on my feet. But anyways, I go here, I start pushing. The natural response is for him to shrimp a little bit. He wants to get on his side away from me, and most people end up touching that knee. So he goes to make his move. That's what I want. Now, which hand do I underhook him?
Right.
No. The one he just pulled.
Right.
Right hand.
The right hand?
Yeah, you're
It
right.
can be either way.
Left hand.
What?
Watch.
Well, I meant like my right.
If you made your right, then, fair enough. All right, let's just see what happens if I do it with the other hand, right? So I'm here, and I'm driving into him, right? And I do this, and I do this. Kayla's like, you just gotta scramble. She won't take it. She won't take the loss for any reason. She's like, I can make mine work. You guys suck. Y'all, it is what it is, right? I love that. All right. So, anyways, I drive. If that hand comes up at all, it's this. And I'm not gonna try to just hook it with my hand. I want to curl his body up. I could set on his head and immediately go for a little gooseneck. Or I can grab here and make Kimura lock. Okay? If he grabs his clothes for defense, right, and I can't get my Kimura lock easily, I go to this. Right? Does it make sense? But it's going to be the leg side hand every time. Why don't I say left hand every time?
Because if you're on the other side.
If I'm on the other side, it'll mess you up. Right? It's the leg side hand. This is the head side, this is the leg side hand. That's the one that I want. Pretty reasonable?
Sir.
What if he doesn't touch your leg and he stays on his back. I drive my knee into his body and I try to touch his backbone. I mean, I'm like, rah, right? I mean, I really want to drive it. By the way, when I drove it, that hand didn't move, but what happened to this hand? It straightened out. That's right there. The thing is when we're in pain, we're probably going to push away in most cases. We're going to give this or we're going to give that. The leg will come up in some cases. He's going to give you an appendage to lock. Cool?
Yes, sir.
We must fight.